Because of the temporary deal, other than like the infighting between Victor's orcs and the Chaos orcs, or the Chaos forces versus Victor's forces, there, we have no fucking clue what's going on. But we have the ability to take Victor off the board
Yes,
immediately right now.
we do.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
But you're also, just to let you know, from a character perspective, and what you guys would have realized by looking through this and everything, and just making sure we all understand, you would force an engagement most likely with Victor if you triggered that. Because Victor, you still have to kill Victor. Like Victor just doesn't. You have to kill him too.
He's part lich. You break the
Yes.
phylactery, he dies.
Yes.
So we wouldn't have to force a fight if we destroy the
We don't.
phylactery
Yeah,
using the
we don't even
ritual.
have to.
Yes. Okay. All right.
But then we have the issue of someone's got to absorb that fucking power.
Yep.
Which that runs into the fucking
Now,
what's his name, the Chaos God.
then there's also the issue of when this divine power, like if it was to go rampant, obviously it would break and fracture and just be morph into whatever way it wanted to be, because it
Yes.
just basically becomes wild energy at that point. But if someone were to absorb the energy as it was, being it a source of order at this point in time, would it maintain that characteristic, or would it morph to whoever has absorbed it? Because I feel like if you're absorbing the power directly from a being of
If
pure order, it's going to
right.
maintain its characteristic of being order.
If they absorb the full power, yes.
Okay, so it's basically more like fucking Jigalag, but
Yeah.
I think there is a bit of your own will that manipulates it,
Hmm.
so you don't go full Jigalag.
Yes. I
You
would
can
say the line
interpret.
from Tropic Thunder, but it would probably get Mini fucking banned off of YouTube. So.
You don't go full
Don't
Jigalag.
go full special.
I don't know if
But
Mini's
no.
even
Yes.
streaming right now. Seems
Yeah.
weird.
Yes.
He is. Oh shit.
Yes. Yes.
Ah, I started it.
Anyway, but theoretically, yes. If you were to, if one being was to absorb full power, yes, he can still fracture a little bit too, and it could split. But usually when this has happened in the past, either whoever replaces that god, quote unquote, or destroys them, it's usually been more of a a mano a mano kind of fight more than large battle kind of things like that. The couple times that that's happened, that's when you get a lot of things like, oh, the whole Order of Valkyries, for example. That's how they become a thing. So some of the other mythological like groups, orders, things like that, that's where they come from.
So you get like basically what would be the angels of that god,
Yes,
or
yes,
yeah,
basically.
okay.
And they would technically follow what would be that, depending on what side they were on. But yes, that's how those.
They
So
would
like,
follow the
hmm
ideology of the god itself that
right.
basically they fractured from. So it works a bit like the chaos gods. They are made of the
Yes,
same energy as the god they serve. Okay,
yes, yes,
right. So, and again, just to reiterate, just to make sure 100% that this is right. If someone else was to absorb that energy of pure order, it's how they interpret order.
yes,
So you don't go full
yes,
Jigalag and try to make everything
yes.
perfect.
Unless that person is basically Jiggalag and wants that.
Yes.
So that can still happen. It's up to that person. So
But you can't switch like a force of order to chaos unless
no,
you allow the
no.
fracturing to go.
They have to align. it still is aligned unless there is a way to do it, but you have to have like a huge like the whole Victor and Chaos how they split kind of thing, something like that happening.
And isn't the Chaos
So
God technically split right now?
yes,
Like that, like he's manifested himself back in the world, but he
yes,
had already split himself.
he's not as powerful as Victor because he's split,
Right.
and that's why he can't take Victor on by himself. Otherwise, he would just nuke it Rico and be done with it. So
What's that? It's Victor with a steel chair. Oh God!
basically, God wrestling. Oh God.
I feel like with like
Does
any
that
god
make
that
sense?
participates in war
Does that
does
make
that.
sense to everybody?
Right. Makes sense to me.
Okay. Canthier?
Yeah, and just trying to figure out what we have as a solution for where we would stick the power, essentially.
Fallsworth? Does that make
Mhm.
sense to you? Are we all on the same page?
As a solution for the power, while seeing as it's aligned with the church that Victor fucking founded, the greatest knower of those tenets amongst us is Darius.
I mean, you can choose to. I mean, the being itself can. It usually wants to stick with that side because most likely the person inheriting that is either
You
somebody
can't flip it
within.
from order to chaos
No,
easily.
no.
So it has to be someone of a relative mind to keep it somewhat
Now,
aligned the way it was.
if say the Chaos God kills Victor, Chaos God just absorbs Victor's power. That's all it is.
It's a
If it's
god
another,
absorbing another god.
basically,
That's a
yeah,
completely different issue.
yes. So,
Whereas this is a mortal obtaining the power of a god.
yes.
So basically, the Shivering Isles DLC from Oblivion. You basically mantle the principles of the power.
Mm-hmm.
So by being, say, a neutral person, you would shift more up the alignment to good.
Lawful or dependent on
yeah.
you would shift that direction dependent on what the
Hey, but then use
overall.
that one weapon.
Yeah.
The one we sold.
Yeah,
The
I don't
Imperial Blade.
actually. We actually sold that.
Yes.
Yeah, we sold that because we couldn't. Nobody could use. The only person who could use it was fucking Carbon, and it
Yeah.
was not an upgrade for him at all.
Oop.
Well then.
So really, the option, the big thing that I see, kind of chapter wise for this story is we're kind of hitting that point too of we need to plan. How are we going to remove Victor? You guys need to figure that out, and then deal with the aftermath of once Victor is gone, the power vacuum and or the military forces that may still be aligned to him that are left, and then chaos would be the
Well,
other one that I'd be worried about.
You just need to go to them and just like show them blinding light till they're either blind or follow you.
again, because obviously it's the same power that is currently influencing them. Would that not affect them as well?
Some, not all. Some, not
Some,
all.
not all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not everyone is forcibly going along.
Yes.
But those that
Awkward to say
already
that.
believed in that power, like the church lot, as long as you mantled it the same way as like the tenets of the church,
Unless they
probably,
were specifically like,
you
for
know,
example, like Dick, Order McDickus, and they were just following things, but kind of like what your order was, or on the other side of that, where they might actually believe in Victor himself too. Like there is some
Yeah.
of that, especially now that he is present.
Manifest.
Yeah, that might be a thing. And it doesn't, like, when it happens, it isn't like that you can erase everybody's memory and it's like, oh, you're the god now. Like they will still remember.
They'll still remember Victor, but they will
Yes.
know that somebody else has mantled his power.
Yes, basically.
Now, another question there would be, when mantling a god's power, is it instantaneous or is it a slow burn? Because that's a lot of power to adapt to immediately.
I mean, you would absorb all of it, but you would need to figure out specifically how to. It's not like you're not getting Mary Sue like Rey Skywalker in Star Wars, and all of
Again,
a sudden I know the Force. That's not how it works.
yeah. So again, it's more like, again, I'm
Yeah,
going back to the Shivering Isles DLC, where you mantle Sheogorath. It is not an instantaneous
right,
process. It takes
right.
time.
Yes. So you would. It's within you, but you need to figure out, and then you need to find yourself with that power. Basically, is how it would work if you wanted to go that route. The other thing that you guys could do is just let it just dissipate too. Like
Yeah,
just
but hundreds of thousands of randomly spawning gods is not a good idea.
Why
I
not?
mean, why not? Makes things more interesting.
Don't you want diversity in your gods?
My God.
The question is, how strong would those gods be?
uh
I assume that like the
Depends on
god
how much you fracture him, and or like fracture said god, and then how
Because
powerful said god is.
because
a
all of
million
the gods
pieces.
currently couldn't fight Victor. Well,
Yes.
it would take all of them together to fight him, and that's what it would
Because
take.
they are also pieces of a shattered god too. That's why.
Well, I'm assuming this is more along the lines of like the Diablo origin story of like Anu, where basically he ended up fracturing himself and creating two beings. One being the seven-headed dragon that, when smoke, created the primevals, and then the other being that created the high heavens and the archangels. I'm assuming that's how that
Similar.
works.
Similarly.
Similar, yeah. Knowing lore from other fucking universes is great.
Uh-huh.
Because it makes you ask these fucking questions.
It does. So yeah, just for explanation out of character here. That's what happened is Victor and Chaos are actually the split from the two originals, and then all the other gods are the splits from the other original. But Chaos shattered again. That's why he's not as powerful as Victor.
Because chaos is chaos, it's gonna do shit like that.
That's what happened when you play with too many Legos. You step on one and you lose too much health and chat. Not kidding.
So that's what's up.
So I think it's probably important to ask this first. Is
Okay.
it sounds like personally I'm okay with Darius becoming the new Order God. Because Gazik's probably just like going there's like, fuck that, I'm not gonna be dealing with that
The
shit.
DM votes is for Rear to do it. Y'all won't do that, so
Well, it would completely change his fucking alignment, and he wouldn't be fucking crazy anymore.
I
But
mean,
You would hope.
you would
you would hope.
hope.
But it's not like, because
It may also cures what ails him too, to be completely honest.
I mean, technically speaking, that could also happen
Yes.
by
The,
anybody
the
else
other
taking
problem
the
is
power and just
he's still
severing
a
it.
vessel for a shard of Tiamat. Is he
That's
gonna
what
get the power or is she?
That is also another interesting question.
well.
There's only one way to find out.
Yeah, there is only one way to find out. You do it.
There's also just never finding out because
Fuck that.
The question is, which is worse?
We
Victor
either
at
have a
full
world that's
strength.
constantly on fire, or
Well,
we have a world that's constantly drunk.
well,
And
you
exploding.
wouldn't need to be drunk
Apparently.
anymore. Here's the other thing too, is Tiamat is also not as powerful by that concept that we just discussed. Like she is,
Well, she's fractured already.
yes,
If she became whole again, which
yes.
if she ended up absorbing the power, she could just go, right, where's my fucking fragments,
But
bitch?
Victor is more powerful than she is, theoretically. He was one of the ones that fractured out of chaos. Technically.
So her brother gave her the power then.
Well, yeah.
Thing is, you decide to make all of them fucking related.
Yep. Yep.
Mhm. Like the various European royal families.
Yep. I mean, and here's the next thing about relations there, Brexit. If they're shattering and making new gods from the older gods, technically they're related. So,
So, yeah, but it depends on what
yep.
original god the power came from.
Yep. Hey, you guys could merge them if y'all want to find out.
Just have a god going around murdering all
Good
the
luck.
gods
Good luck.
and merge them all together.
Yep.
Create the original being.
Yep. That is the ultimate end game of this universe, by the way. That is literally, it would literally
Rebirthing
be.
the original god.
We're- Which would be goddamn terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Because that being would be. You thought Endgame and Infinity War was bad. It's a whole other level.
You were
He would
literally
be a
creating the
god.
original god. So that guy could go, I'm finally restored to what the fuck has gone on in this place? Oh, fuck this. We're starting over.
Snaps fingers. Everybody's
Exactly.
gone.
I'm assuming you heard the snap I did then.
Yep, I did.
Good. Oh. Right.
We met with the Admiral.
Met with the Admiral. We've seen Baywatcher again.
Baywater's here. Oh.
Arya is currently being babysat.
Mm-hmm. You know what we should do?
Oh, God.
We should tell the debts that uh
Victor killed the king.
Victor has the king hostage.
Attack!
Can you?
You
Can
should
you
go do it, Weir.
And see
It's
what
your
happens.
plan. It's your plan.
Uh,
Oh my god.
I mean, you guys technically have a debt in Osterich, so theoretically that is possible.
Oh god, why is that there? Why isn't it blown up?
oh yeah.
Yeah,
You
'cause
guys,
the one in that shop still. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
I mean,
when you mentioned that, I'm gonna. We should probably go find that prisoner and ask him where that construct is.
It was in a shop. Remember?
I think it's more of asking if it's been activated since they left the shop or been moved.
And also, we probably still need to interrogate him unless no one has any questions for him.
What, the debt or the prisoner that's making
The
you all this
prisoner.
shit? I thought y'all interrogated him when he killed his friend. So
No, we never. I don't think we ever ended up interrogating. We killed his friend and then interrogated not coin miner.
Mm-hmm.
We never like talked to him. We told him, hey, please leave, and then that was it.
let's see. Alright.
Get your facts straight now.
Well,
But yeah. So do we want to like set up the little meeting room to talk to the guy?
Wait, who has the fucking book?
Pretty sure it's Camos.
No,
That
no,
is
no.
classified information, sir.
Not the grimoire, the one with the ritual in it.
I want
That's
to
either
say
you or Star.
I don't
Because
think
I didn't get anything from Ashir.
Okay, it's definitely then you, because I definitely don't have the book.
So it's me then. Okay. So I do remember picking up like primarily two things in like as that were
They
major
were both
points.
books, yeah.
No, I mainly picked up the spear and the sword. I
Yeah,
remember
but
those.
there was the book, and I thought Cam picked it up, but
If I remember correctly, the book was obscenely large, right? It was
yes.
stupidly. Yeah, none of us could have put it in a bag of holding. So I think we had to bring it back to the ship. Fuck.
And
Baywater!
it's gone.
Baywater, you got that book?
For the ease of this, we will say the book was recovered. Let's just put it that
Okay.
way.
And
Okay.
it's like in his room, and it's like before we left. I think we ended the campaign talking to him.
We ended like
Yeah.
last session talking to like retrieving our bits, and so
That was one
And
of
we
the
all
things.
just like see this giant book. It's like, fuck. Hey, Darius, you want to carry that?
I'm gonna have to be the one that fucking carries it, or flatten you.
Thanks, buddy, for volunteering.
Good thing Darius is actually quite strong.
Yeah, I'm strong with my. Let's see.
I mean, this
11
book is
strength.
probably like 4 foot by like 4 foot. Like the thing's quite large.
Stupid large.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining like the people in town as like Darius just walking by, it's just a fully clad fucking crusader in armor, just
Carrying this book.
carrying this
Remember,
absolutely
kids.
gigantic book.
Must be his
Remember,
chapel's
kids,
Bible.
make sure you read at night.
Now I'm just hearing, I'm just, I'm just hearing fucking Sabaton in my head now.
God.
Weirdly, weird tangent. I actually met someone that plays Powerwolf all the fucking time in VR chat. Quite
Oh,
interesting.
God.
Anyway, so we have the book.
Yep.
We would have gone
Right back.
back to the mansion at this point, I would
Yep.
say.
Yep.
Now, are you guys wanting to do the interrogation of the dude?
What question should we ask him? Like,
Because if you guys are doing that, Darius is basically going to go read the book to figure out how the fuck the ritual works.
if I remember, you
Um,
were like the one who was like mainly pushing for the questioning and shit.
It was mainly information on Victor and like his forces, what plans are coming through. Because obviously they're going to use going to use the circle as a
mhm.
assault point, but we kind of stopped that. So
I'm gonna start getting some questions up.
Darius isn't 100% as concerned as he was, because obviously it's going to take them a couple weeks to get here now. Well, I say a couple weeks. A couple weeks if it was probably a small group, but if it's an entire army, that's a lot of fucking logistical issues. Make sure they're all fed, they need to rest and camp, and
I mean, or you
It-
send the ones that require no sleep and or food.
oh yeah, he's a fucking lich, ain't he? He could just resurrect one.
Yeah. Well, he's also got his own fucking chaos bullshit. Remember this.
He's got his own
His own
entities.
demons and shit, quote
Yeah, his own
unquote. Yeah.
angel demons, whatever you want to refer to them.
Yeah. Demigodic entities. There you go.
Yes. So if you guys want to do the questioning, Darius will read the book. Basically,
It's in a language you can read, right?
what
I don't
language
think
is
we've
it in?
opened it.
You guys haven't opened the book yet.
I thought we opened it when, and
Oh.
then that guy popped out.
'Cause
Yeah.
we couldn't open it, as I recall.
Hmm? You gonna try and open it, Darius?
Yes, I will try to open the gigantic book.
You open it up, and I need you to roll me a perception check.
A perception check.
Gamos, do you want to do this too?
I mean,
Are you gonna hang out with Darius and Reed, or are
Yeah.
you gonna go interrogate the
nah,
elf?
I'll hang out and read.
Hmm.
Okay.
Read the book that nearly tried to kill you, just by its mere presence.
What?
When that
Did
guy
it?
came out.
That was
If I
No,
remember,
the
no,
other
that's a
book.
different book. That's a
That's
different book.
that's the other book. The demon book.
26.
Okay.
It was the
What'd you
angel
get?
book.
Yeah, it's the angel book. That's right.
Because an actual angel popped out, and we had to hand over one of the weapons that we got from the.
Oh yeah, feathers.
Yeah. Feathers.
Feathers. Fucking many. Goddamn. Okay.
What'd you get, Scamos?
What are we rolling the perception for? Just to open the book?
See what's on the
See
book. Yes.
To see what's in the book. To see like the language.
The first
Yeah.
page or two.
Like, are we? Okay.
It opened. Yeah, the book opens.
Okay.
That's a book.
I have an 8 for perception.
Okay. What languages do you know, Darius?
That I can read.
Yes.
Common, High Gothic, and Abyssal.
What do you have, Scamos?
I can read any written word.
Oh yeah, I forgot
yeah.
about
Eyes
that.
of the Rune Keeper.
I fully forgot about
If
that.
it is written, I can read it.
You can read this. It is celestial.
Okay.
Darius, you cannot read this. I mean, you can
Well-
make some bits like Abyssal and a Celestial
It's okay,
are actually
Darius. I'll read it
similar.
aloud to you like a bedtime story. I know it's hard for you to understand and learn things with your,
just like
So, like,
regimented
You,
beliefs.
you
but
do pick up, with Abyssal, you do pick up bits and pieces, but it does not make sense.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm only
it's-
getting the odd word rather
It's
than.
it's like when people that speak Swedish are trying to talk to somebody from Norway, and they're not they can kind of understand
Portuguese
but...
versus Spanish.
Yes, basically.
There's
So-
a bit of similarity in.
But you're still like confused as hell. You're like, what?
I know that word. It means that.
That's not
doesn't
what
make
that means in
sense.
that language. So,
What
Scamos.
does it mean here when it says fried eggs?
It is a whole ritual.
Wait, the entire book from cover to cover is a fucking ritual?
Yeah,
Fuck me.
yeah.
You put
Like-
your left hand in.
Like, is the text just obnoxiously big, or?
Yes. No,
Yes.
it's,
Okay.
it's big, but it's also
You know in those
Explain-
old timey books how the first letter of a chapter is always big and
corner of the
flowery?
fucking
Yeah.
Yeah,
page.
every letter's like that.
yeah, basically.
Jesus.
The whole ritual is just fuckery.
And as you read this, Gamos, literally to open the book, to open his grimoire, you need to pour the blood on the cover as you read
Okay.
through this.
Okay, look, it's actually got an instruction manual. My God.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
And once it does that, it will
Does it start the
Produ-
ritual or just open the grimoire?
it opens well, this is the ritual to kill Victor. It is literally to open the grimoire.
Okay, so we have to open his grimoire to kill him.
Yes. Well, his grimoire is his phylactery.
and then you stab the phylactery.
So
Oh.
is this to open the ritual, or is this
This is
the
open
ritual
to the
bind him or kill him?
I mean, by binding him, you can choose to either bind him or you can kill him.
Okay. How much of this is Darius understanding?
How much are you explaining to him?
I mean, I'm just reading it right now. Like,
Are you
just-
reading it out
no,
loud?
I'm reading it to myself.
Darius, like you're putting bits and pieces together. Like you do pick up like word stab.
Darius hasn't said anything to me that he doesn't understand what's going on. I don't know
Yeah.
what languages he speaks, so I'm just reading this whole thing to myself.
Darius, are you just staring at this like confused as hell?
I'm just looking at it like, are you understanding all of this? I'm getting the odd word.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh.
Turns the page, keeps reading.
Darius is
Wait,
like, yeah.
why are you not? I'm gonna stop like halfway through the book, look back up at Darius.
I'm not 100% sure what language this is.
Celestial.
Yes, as a mortal man, I know the language of the gods. Of course, definitely, I know that one. Definitely.
Look,
Of course not.
Don't you talk to your gods all the time?
Yeah,
They,
like
they speak common, damn it.
Maybe that's why they don't answer your prayers. They
Oh,
can't
damn.
understand them.
Oof.
That's pretty good, actually.
bam.
So on the grimoire too, there is a specific area like and if you guys would look on the grimoire, there's like a it's almost like a receptacle. You unscrew it, and it would pop off. Scamoson explains this in the book, and you would actually pour the blood into it, and it would actually cause the spell to unlock the grimoire.
Okay.
So you can either access the grimoire and read it, or you can turn it a certain direction. Like there's certain like positions in the of it, and it'll open certain things in the grimoire. So like you're actually reading, and there's like a hidden compartment to grimoire that has his phylactery in the book.
And we can access that by
Yeah,
opening the book and then reading it.
Yeah, well, you have to. It's in the book. There's a hidden compartment in the book with his phylactery.
Basically, there's like a
It's
little
a hidden
semi-plane connector
yes.
in the book, right?
Yes, yes. Basically, the book has like a little thing, a bag of holding on it, and depending on how you turn, you can activate certain aspects of it, and you can pull certain
How much
things
blood
out.
does it take to activate each time?
You just need a couple drops to open it, and then once it's open, until you reseal it, it is open. You can use it until you reseal it.
Okay. Does it give any warnings about what happens once it's unsealed? Like, does Victor instantly know where it is?
Well,
things like that.
It does say that the owner of the grimoire would now feel. It does mention that yes, there would be a connection. It does the whole like, oh my god, master, I'm here. Please come and get me. Somebody's trying to activate your shit.
Alarm,
Yes.
alarm.
You know what?
A new user has unexpectedly signed into your
I
account.
have the perfect
Basically.
fucking idea on how to handle this.
So.
Hey, Darius. Think the party's up for a quick teleport trip once we have those scrolls? I have a way to bait Victor and get what we need.
Wait, what do we need?
Well, we have to open his grimoire to get his phylactery. But if we do that, it's going to send out a, hey, Victor, come get me beacon to him.
Okay.
So, my plan is this. We teleport out into the middle of bumfuck nowhere Ruskova. We do the thing out there, and then come back. We close the book before we come back. And we make Victor take a useless one-way trip all the way out to Ruskova.
I mean, interesting plan. So we get the phylactery out of it, but aren't we just going to destroy the phylactery anyway?
Well, that takes a bit more work with the rituals of this book.
Microphone muted.
Does it?
That's my understanding of it.
I mean, you get the phylactery and then you can destroy it once you've turned it a certain
Right,
direction.
but then you've also said we have to fucking like bind Victor and do all this other shit, right? So
You can choose to do that, or you could just destroy his ass. Like, there's options.
By binding him, you bind him to like your word.
Yeah. Well, bind him. You can either choose to bind him like when you guys found Darius found them. Like that's what I mean by binding.
Oh, so you can seal him away. That's what
Yes.
binding, right?
Yes.
That's what you meant by binding.
Yes.
Microphone activated.
So you can put him back in there, or you can just destroy his ass, or you can actually have him say Darius, for example. Darius then could take over. If you destroy Victor where he's at, you destroy the phylactery, he dies wherever he is, right? That's how liches work, right?
Yeah, but their
So
soul is connected to the phylactery, so the phylactery contains their soul.
yes, but you would kill him, thus causing his power to disseminate wherever the fuck he is.
Which is attached to his soul in the phylactery.
Yes.
So we destroy the phylactery, and the power's there.
Yeah.
in front of us.
Dibs.
Debs.
Probably not a good idea to let that one.
We just talked about needing balance, right? What better way to bring balance than to give a literal tiefling Victor's powers?
And the bard.
Yeah, no. Seeing as
He's the only one that knows how to do the ritual, so
yeah, but isn't it the one who strikes Victor, like destroys Victor, that would gain the power?
Mhm.
So seeing as I'm the one with the actual weapon to destroy it,
Can it be any weapon that destroys it?
it
no.
has to be the Gunganir, which is what I have.
There's it- there would be there needs to be a certain make of weapon, and it does say that in there too, because we did talk about that
Okay.
before.
What kind of weapon?
Anything that's made by the gods, period.
Gunganir.
I.e., so Victor, like his shield could technically do
Anything
it
that's
too.
made by the gods, right?
Yes,
So my shield can do it.
and the spear,
Who
and
made the soul-stealing daggers?
not your god,
Not a god.
You didn't- you
not a
said
god,
there you go. You said not my god. I'm sorry, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
I
not
mean,
a god.
I didn't
The
vote
Technically,
for
halberd
you.
I have was made by my mentor, not a god, and that was
Yeah.
soul steeled.
some demon craftsman made your shit. Probably made that.
Damn.
I mean, you could also put Victor's soul into that and see how that works.
That would be immensely entertaining.
Wouldn't that just turn the dagger into his new phylactery?
I mean, who knows, Ian?
I mean,
Fuck
Fuck off.
the problem with that would be usually to make the phylactery. There's like a ritual that goes on to push the soul safely into this thing. I don't think violently ripping someone's soul out of a phylactery to suck it into a dagger to essentially be an overglorified AA battery is gonna
It's also the soul of a god.
Okay, so it's like a D cell battery then.
I don't think that's how that's gonna work.
I mean, you could put it into the gun spear too and see what happens.
There's no warden in that one.
No.
So do we have? But we have a weapon we can use to destroy the
Yes,
phylactery then.
you do.
Yes.
You have two weapons that can technically.
I
So.
have the spear and I have the shield that I was given by Athena.
Okay. When we do this, does the ritual say there's anything protecting the phylactery after it's out of the book?
No, it actually just gives you the phylactery.
I understand it just gives us the phylactery. Is the phylactery enchanted or protected via other means?
It does not say.
Okay. Interesting.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Victor would probably the owner of the phylactery would probably be there in a very short order.
So you have to do it quick.
Yeah.
As soon as phylactery drops, just.
It may also be a beacon for other beings of immense power as well. By the way.
Okay.
So casually calling the Chaos God.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just like, what's going on over there?
My spidey sense is tingling.
But then again, if we're doing the whole teleportation scrolls thing, his attention is drawn to Rushkova to a random barren, no point. He just arrives at.
You guys do have the chaos ones as well, by the way. You have both.
Yeah, we have the Chaos God's
Does it work the same way?
grimoire. The question is he classified as a lich as well?
Yep. The same. You guys have both grimoires, and you look at them; they're the same.
And we would wait. How much blood is in Victor's vial? Is it a full vial?
Hmm.
Because technically they're related.
Yes, they are.
We could overwrite the other one as well.
Ish.
Well, there have to be ways for other people to access it without just getting the blood of a lich. Can you imagine trying to get blood from a lich? Not easy. Usually it's like.
Hmm.
Decisions.
Yeah, decisions is right.
I missed it. Do we have enough blood to open both? Assuming it
Yes,
works.
you do.
Yeah, but the minute we open the book, we set the alarm off. We would have to be ready to open both and execute the mission. Well, I will suppose then that I will relay all that I read to Darius. As
By
much as
the
I would love to
way,
pull tiefling barge shenanigans.
If, by the way, too, you do read it if both are opened or both
Okay.
are open in the vicinity by the same person, that person would inherit both.
I will not pass that part along.
Yeah. Just FYI, just making sure you caught that. Okay.
So if we open them both at the same time, we just
Yes.
inherit their powers.
You would remerge them back together to what they were before. Yes.
And the person that opens the book then inherits that power.
They would basically become the combined version of those two, yes.
Okay.
Which, order and chaos, good luck.
Be a fun time.
Yeah.
It'd be the United States of America. Well, bam, perfection.
I'm sorry. I've got to do this. Maybe next time we'll share a strawberry tart. But I do feel a grey march upon me. But you would just become fucking sheer Gorif and Jigalag.
Yep.
I like this idea.
You'd become the medical definition of bipolar.
You would have to have conversations with the order side of yourself and the chaotic side of yourself.
Whichever side like manifests in front of people at what random time, like,
Yeah.
oh great god of chaos, we beseech you. Wrong one, bitch.
What's
Oh,
wrong with bitch?
You know what, Darius? Just to fuck with you explicitly, if I inherit these powers, all I'm gonna do is alternate in the same sentence which one is talking to you. Every word.
You sound like a Kenku.
I want to see Hallsworth now RP this, but you know.
Bet Waller, you
bet.
just told me it's possible, and
I
nobody
mean-
else in the party knows right now.
Yeah. I mean,
Don't tempt me with
Darius
a good
and
time. Don't
Darius
tempt me with a
would
good
know,
time.
and so would probably Cam that that's possible. But you like you said, because they would know that by from what you guys have been described and what you've read.
We already know that it's possible for someone
Yeah.
to get
Yes.
or to inherit the power.
Yes.
Might not know the exact
They're not-
mechanism.
Yeah.
Yes, but you can.
And
They
that's
know
what I'm
how.
keeping.
They know it's a possibility.
Right,
so-
but I'm keeping the very fact that this book says the mechanism of that being possible is a
Yes,
thing is what I'm
yes.
keeping secret. They can all
Okay.
know it's possible. If it happens before,
This. Yeah. The chair, by the way, too, and it does mention this the thrones do that as well,
oh fuck.
and it does mention that in
Does it
the
list
book.
off like hang on, chairs?
Yes, there's multiple chairs.
Fuck. Does it list
Yes.
off where they all are and what they
Yep.
do and whose gods they're bound to?
Yep.
Fuck. Arius.
Give me a second, I'm in the kitchen.
In the kitchen. Cam's there too, so if you want to
Brexit is a
mention that,
chicken
he is
farm.
also the one that did the most studying of that throne chair in Forge Hammer.
I thought Cam was off interrogating people.
No, that would be
Cam,
Gauss
Cam doesn't
and-
give a fuck about them.
Yeah,
Okay.
Cam's in there with you.
So
So-
Cam's hanging out with us. So
Yep.
can Cam read this then?
Cam, can you read? No, but he's yeah.
Probably just listening in to the bedtime story.
I can do Ignan.
I
I
mean,
can do fucking Sylvan. I cannot do Celestial.
oh, have you ever given me that book, by the way?
The Sylvan one.
I don't think you
Yes.
have, and
No.
I don't think it's gonna be of much use at this point.
Yeah, I gave it to you.
I probably like read a few pages and then shit happened. But it's probably still in my bag.
But yes, Hallsworth. Gamos. Are you going to share this knowledge with Mr. Cam, or are you
I'm
just
waiting
going
for
to?
Brexit to come back so I can share it with them both.
Okay.
Right. Sorry, I was teaching how to use the dishwasher because nobody fucking uses it.
What?
It's a dishwasher. It's not that hard.
Yes, but I'm dealing with people. I'm dealing with a man with gorilla hands that managed to break a phone just holding it. Apparently, so
You just put the dishes in. You close it. You
Put some
push
soap
the
in there.
start button.
Put some soap in there. And
The start button, Goku.
yes. All right. Go ahead, Scabos. You want to share with the group?
Well, Cam,
Vamos.
how well do you remember that chair you were so interested in getting rid of?
Barely. It
How
was
many
not
are there?
terribly long
How-
ago.
How many chairs are there, Waller,
There's
numerically?
8 total.
Well, there's 7 more of them we should probably break.
I forget. Was I aware of the one in Amir?
You knew
in
about the one
character?
in Amir. You guys were told the one by, was it Coin Miner? I think it was Coin Miner said there's one in Amir.
no, it was Athena.
Oh, the elves. The elves fucking said that. That's right.
No, Athena.
Oh, Athena. That's right. The god, with the god conversation. Yes. So there is
Yeah.
that one. God. So yes, she's told you that there is 5 more. There is one.
5 more?
There's 5. Well, you know of the one in Forge Hammer, which is destroyed, right?
Right.
Or
Forge
quote
Hammer
unquote
Amir.
Amir. So there would be 6 more left after that. Excuse me.
Okay.
There is one in Avalon somewhere. There's one in Alaron. It does mention Alaron. It does mention
The city or the country?
the city. And then Avalon, there is a reference to an ancient like myth that you guys
A
have
lady,
heard.
a lake, and a sword.
Basically, kind
Yeah,
of like
it's
that.
a rip off of yeah.
It's Camelot, that kind of thing.
And we're the Knights of Camelot. Oh fuck that, we're not going there.
So that's
Let us not go
mentioned.
to Camelot.
So that would leave 4. And then there's 4 more that you guys haven't. You look at the Scamos and these names,
Mm-hmm.
you have no fucking idea what they're in reference to.
Okay. Do we know what gods go to what chairs?
No. Well, so the way that you read about these chairs is they can do the same thing that the grimoires do, depending. Like if you set a god in the chair.
Right. Oh,
Right.
set a god in the chair.
Yes. So that's how they shattered Tiamat. That's what happened in Forge Hammer. That's why that's why they have that's why Arir has a shard of Tiamat in him, is because of the chair. Right? We talked about that.
So they got a dragon to sit in a chair and it split.
Tiamat isn't technically a dragon, and it's a god, and they can take any form they want.
He
Theoretically.
had a mouse.
Yes.
A very scary mouse.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
A 5-headed mouse. It's breathing fire. So, but no. So like that's you can shatter the god by sitting him in the chair or destroying their victory. So you could have Victor sit in a chair and do the same thing and accomplish the same thing.
I somehow doubt he's going to cooperate with us on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Unless he doesn't know what the chairs do. Because all the gods, and it does mention this in here, the younger gods don't know what the chairs actually do. The older ones do. So Victor may or may not. So but yeah, you can use the chair to accomplish the task if all else fails, is basically what it says.
Okay.
The also chairs also hold immense power, like Forge Hammer. It literally controls ancient defense systems of the old city of what was Forge Hammer. That's what the deaths are, things like that.
The ancients had a pretty sick sense of humor.
Um, and you would probably think that there's also chairs like that. There's also defense mechanisms in each of the locations where there's the chair. So if you get to the chair in the Aileron, for example, you might be able to activate the old defense systems for Aileron.
Oh my god. The worst case scenario for else, the old defense systems are a bunch of constructs.
Gamos? Falsworth?
Yep.
Any other questions?
Mostly, I'm just gonna keep reading just to see if there's more information or things in there that we're missing. But I'm gonna pass along, obviously, the stuff about the chairs and all that.
The chairs, if there is two people, like, so say, example, you sat in the one in Amir and the one in Forge Hammer, you were actually able to communicate as well. Like, it's old school. This is how they used to do old school long distance communication back in the day, way back in the day.
Hop in the chair, give up your soul, make a collect call.
Basically, it does a lot of things.
The multi-chair.
Hmm.
Why have a multi-tool when you can just sit on a chair and have it do everything?
Like the
Comes with
suicide
vibrating.
piece from Futurama.
It comes with a vibration feature as well.
God.
Yours for only 1 million payments of $1.
But yes. Anybody else have any questions? Darius or Cam after Scamos has explained to you what's going on.
We don't need to worry about the chairs at the present moment. So, not
They
really.
don't seem terribly useful. No.
And
So, we have a strategy to defeat Victor.
and potentially the god of chaos,
Yes.
if we're lucky.
I mean, here's the other thing too. If you open a Destroy Victor's Velactor, you also get more of Victor's blood and or genetic material, basically.
His
So
mojo.
his mojo, yes.
Oh no, I've lost my mojo.
Jesus.
What, you don't find that funny stuff?
No, it's just that whole fucking movie.
No, Jojo.
Well, the straightforward solution seems to be to destroy one then the other, scatter their powers to the four winds, and let it sink into the world.
Wait, what did you say? I was half paying attention, sorry.
Yes, a pretty common thread, especially when you're reading your holy books.
That was out of character, cunt.
Wow.
The sass. Pretty good.
Damn.
I said the most straightforward answer seems to be to destroy one and then the other and scatter their powers to the four winds.
And just let anarchy reign while fucking hundreds of thousands of new gods form.
Any change is going to have a bit of a settling in period.
Here's the other question. Are they going to be gods if you let the hundreds and thousands of take shape?
Are they going to be gods?
Yeah.
Well,
Eventually, if you dilute it enough, they lose their
Doors.
power. Yeah.
That was
So you
explained
just
to
create-
us by doors.
They'll certainly lose the majority of it.
we just end up creating God knows how many random new races to inhabit the world. A half-dead world, because the other half of it is nuked.
Well,
Sounds like a population solution then.
that also, they do mention what happened. That's in the book, Scamos, actually.
Hmm.
What happened to the other continent.
And what happened to it?
Only part of it got nuked.
Okay, what about the other part?
It does mention that there is races from another. They had another clash between some beings. That is where Victor and the current gods came from. And there may still be a civilization there. It doesn't say that they were destroyed or not.
Interesting.
It's called Tyria, it's all they call it. But it's what the book mentions, because Illyria and Tyria. And Tyria is where they fought, the continent's where they fought, and only half the continent was destroyed. And they do talk about, you do see the equation in there that you guys found in the workshop with Arrear's workshop. It is also mentioned that this was the only thing that mortals tried to defeat the gods.
Well, if we can't kill you, we'll just take us with you.
Allahu Akbar.
Not the wisest strategy, but
A nuke is what caused the chaos and the split between Chaos and Victor. Basically.
It seems to have worked.
That's a giant ass Lego.
Quick, hit him again, just like World War II.
So that's a nugget of information. There you go, Hallsworth. You can share that with the rest of the group if you want.
Yes, please share that with the rear.
No. Don't share that with the rear.
And technically, it was Tiamat that technically gave them the power to do it. Technically. So that's probably why a rear knows. You start putting 2 and 2 together there, Camos.
Okay.
Yeah. So shall we jump to Gauze? If you guys are done talking.
I mean, mine's probably gonna be short because I only have a few questions that I could think of, unless someone wants to add some more questions and want to join me with this.
You were gonna ask something there, Cantor?
I'm just trying to remember, like, in scene, what the hell just happened.
So Scamos has been reading, and you guys were talking. Darius was like, "You guys have a
It's more of
tactic."
what was the last statement?
Um.
Trying to figure out.
So what I told, or what did Darius say? Darius, you guys were talking about the tactics that you guys like. We have a plan, and then you had mentioned you were the last one to speak, where you mentioned
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that it seems straightforward enough.
Mm-hmm.
Destroy them both, scatter their power.
Yep.
So does Captain Church or Demon Boy have anything to respond to that with?
Darius,
Don't
go ahead.
particularly trust the idea of, you know, allowing anarchy to reign with potentially a lot of new gods.
As opposed to what? Picking a random person, jamming the power into them, hoping it doesn't change them, and then giving them the reins?
Either way, it's going to be one hell of a ride.
If we scatter the power, we've at least reduced the problem to manageable chunks.
Boy.
You're talking about moving Victor's power to someone, right?
No, he's talking about allowing it just to float away and fracture.
Right, we're saying getting rid of Victor, right?
Yeah.
Well, Cam is suggesting do the same for both of them, but yeah, that.
Hmm. It would be a lot more entertaining.
I don't like it when he says things like that.
You don't like it when anything happens.
Yeah, Darius, you're boring. Like the literal dictionary definition of the buzzkill.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd prefer, not to allow God knows what would happen.
Oh, cool. So you'd prefer to have somebody else go just as Victor crazy as Victor and then have to do this whole process again?
Well, there were some underlying problems with him to begin with.
Okay, do you trust
Daddy
anyone with this level of
Who do you
absolute power?
know who do you know that doesn't have underlying problems? Please
Like,
take us to this perfect person.
Like, are we going to go find a 1-year-old and shove the power into that? Because that's going to be a terrifying, 5 years.
Yeah, let's not give the fucking power.
Every
to do
time the
anything
baby cries, like
Well, that's the
an
only way
entire
I can
city
think
is
of to not
destroyed.
give someone with issues already the power is to literally go get a 1-year-old, put the power in that, and then raise it.
That's also a bad idea.
Yeah, it's such a really.
Like
bad
Y'all
the
are not
necromancer.
like parent of the year material. I'm just gonna put that
Oh, we are
out there.
definitely not, but we are
Oh,
still
definitely are.
far fucking better than Mr. Chaos Goddaddy.
I will have you know, Mr. Random Voice in the room, that I am low.
Do you have children? No, you do not.
Plot twist: Cam has
Exactly.
kids.
I have excellent judgment then.
He's not wrong.
Always rap before you tap.
He's a dragon. They don't do that. I'm kidding. I don't know.
Anyways,
Anywho, back
so
to the
the plan,
topic.
yeah. So honestly, the safest plan really is split it up because at least if they're off in manageable chunks, we can probably kill one of the manageable chunks a lot more easily.
We can deal with
than
the problem
whole thing.
portions
Yeah, like
rather than a problem whole.
Or start a whole world war where they're trying to
Get rid
go.
of the old status quo.
Yeah.
you know what? I call that entertainment, since some people haven't seemed to want to help us with anything.
What does that mean?
He's
What
referring
does-
to the gods.
I know he is. But
That
I'm
was his-
doing the
That was
disembodied
his
voice in the room.
version.
This is the disembodied voice whispering next to Scamos' ear. What does that mean?
Exactly what it sounds like.
What do you expect us to do?
Help stop the end of the world.
Are you okay, Scamos?
Yes, the gods have decided to come down and have a chat finally.
Oh, well, I'm glad they decided to finally get involved.
Well, they're not really getting involved. They're asking what we want them to do, and I haven't ever received
From a
response.
Have they
certain point
considered
of
doing their
view.
jobs?
Oh god, okay.
From a certain point of view, this could be my next movie.
Okay, Obi-Wan.
I'm about to get shot. I have a feeling.
Oh, you are definitely about to get shot. You know you're about to get fucking shot. You don't even have to fucking question it.
I had to make the joke. Come on. Anyway,
Be right back.
Scamos.
Let me get the bow out real quick. We're gonna use broadheads for this one.
Please no. Please no.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Scamos. I can't help you do that.
I don't need your help to string a longbow.
No, the gods basically whispering to you, saying they can't help you.
Oh yeah, the gods are being the gods. We all know how that's gone for like forever.
Instead of HAL 9000, it's the gods.
Anyway.
By the way, is it still like daytime? Like you guys went straight from the docks back to the place to talk?
Yeah.
Isn't
Alright.
it getting to be like evening or something?
Evening. It's like late afternoon. Yeah.
The rear's still out.
Cold or on the town?
On the town. Well,
With the elf.
yeah.
He's with
Oh,
the
yeah.
elf.
My-
Yeah.
God, shepherd, whatever you want to call him. Parental figure.
Parental figure.
Time to go talk to the prisoner. Oh wait.
This is gonna be the sitcom for his epilogue is Rear and the elf are gonna like be buddies forever. And they're just gonna travel everywhere and
Pinky and the brain.
basically.
Pinky and the brain. One is a genius. The other's also a genius, but pretending to be insane in order to foil the brain's plans.
Anyway. So what do y'all want to do? Are we gonna do Victor in right now?
I
Wanna
feel like
build
we
up
don't
more
want to sort of call
capital?
all the tension of the fucking chaos god onto our fucking head currently, seeing as
You wanna talk to the chaos guy?
Why not? We have a peace treaty with him. He can't do shit to us.
And also, I do believe that Scamos, and I assume some others may want to go visit places before big shit happens. I know Scamos does.
I know I want to find my fucking dog. Does that count?
Yeah. I personally want to go.
Sorry,
back
that
to
was
my-
still semi in
Meanwhile,
character.
meanwhile,
I personally want
Speed
to go
cuts.
visit my town to see if it's still
scene,
there.
scene cuts to like some random city or like some town in Roscova somewhere, and a blink
Oh,
puppy just
God.
out of nowhere. It starts running around, and then just disappears again.
Right. So again, where are we in character?
So you guys have been discussing,
Just what was
plan
the last
what's
thing said that actually?
in character was what Scamos was saying was like we should probably let them. It would be the
Scatter.
best case scatter. So
But given that the prisoner is out and about with Arir, I assume Gaza probably had joined the
Yeah.
conversation, given
Yeah.
you couldn't find him.
Yeah.
And then realized where he was.
Yep.
At least if they're in smaller chunks, we can handle the ones that become a problem. At the moment, we just have one massive problem that isn't really handleable. And someone posted something that I can't see at the moment.
It's bored.
Hey, you lied.
You
It's
lie.
gunpoint.
You lie. So
Buttons.
buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Is it the
I
big
am
red
hoping
one?
that got there because someone decided to shove it there and not because the ejector failed hard.
All right.
What?
What are we doing, guys? Back on track.
Oh, I've stated my position. I'm waiting
Yeah.
on Captain
I've-
Price to respond.
Yeah, and I'm agreeing with Comrade Smartman.
Comrade smart person.
You say dealing with chunks would be easy, but it's still a chunk of a god. The being that could probably still just snap on next before we make a move.
A small chunk of a god. Little demigod, if you will.
You ever fought a demigod?
Have you ever fought a god? Because that's our other option.
I mean, we can kill the god right now.
Don't want to be
Yes,
exactly
that is
fighting
a
him.
required step
The-
for both plans.
The demigod.
The question is what to do with after. The third option is just kick this problem down the road and have to deal with it later.
I don't think we really want to do that at this point in time.
And that I
Especially
agree with
given
you.
we may have another Darius Hamilton opening it up again.
Man, why'd it get so dark all of a sudden? So much shade.
Fucking Star's throwing shade. Fuck you, Star. Fuck up.
No, throw more shade, Star. He deserves it.
Hey,
I'm just
made
being
it-
on it,
I
blunt.
made a decision that solved the issue at the time. It caused a bigger issue down the road that I could not predict. Sue me.
I
Make
feel
the
like
house
that's-
catch fire. I just wanted to make them warmer.
I feel like that's
Look,
Arir's
Wait,
excuse.
the second you
look,
say that,
guys,
Gozlik pulls
guys,
out a piece of paper
guys.
and starts writing stuff down. It's like,
Guys,
how
guys.
to sue
I
Darius?
got the spider, didn't I?
Spider.
You got
Oh,
the
yeah.
spider with a flamethrower and set the house on fire. Good work, idiot.
It's gone.
That's taken right out of Arir's playbook. The nuke worked,
But
right?
back in character. Back in character. So, Darius,
Mhm.
do you want to become the god of order? You feel like that would be a better plan than just having itty bitty gods of order?
The question is, do they maintain being itty bitty gods of order?
Well, it depends on who worships them.
And they gain more power from worship. And
Which,
you know,
conveniently, nobody knows about them yet, so we have a minute to deal with them.
so what? You wish to travel to the celestial plane to go fight a bunch of gods?
If they're on the celestial plane, we have no problem. The other gods can deal with them. If they're here, then we can deal with them. Personally, hopefully they show up on the celestial plane, because that's their job.
But the gods would struggle. All of the gods currently would struggle to fight Victor.
Right, because he is one big god. That's why we make them do a bunch
Yes.
of little gods that aren't
But that's
cooperating.
all of them together. We make two sets of a load of little gods from beings that are powerful, more powerful than all the gods already. That's a lot of little bitty gods
Yes, and?
taking on the gods that would already
Are
be
you threatened by an
struggling.
anthill? No,
I
you're
mean,
not.
if you
just
think
step
about
on it.
this
You
way,
maybe let it on
That
fire.
you do realize that's how Victor sees the gods, right?
real
He doesn't
quick,
seem that afraid of them.
if all the gods split up, will they still have the same motivation as Victor? Or would they be
Presumably
like
not,
completely
since they'll be
different
different.
people?
There'll be different entities at that point.
Yep.
In
So
fact,
So we have
the
no
gods would be
idea
able to
what
maybe
kind of issue would happen.
for each individual, but sum total, not all of them are going to turn out to be a problem. I am slipping into a weird accent and I don't know why. The sum total of them will not, or rather, we will not have to deal with all of them. The size of the problem will go down. If we put all of the power into one entity, one person, we still have to deal with whatever fucked up mess that person turns into, with no reduction in the monumental scale of the problem.
when you put it like that, that does seem to make sense.
And to be honest, we don't really know what putting all the power of chaos or all the power of order into one person is going to do to them, even if they are some theoretical perfect person.
I mean, there would probably be some influence, but I feel like some form of will would still come through.
Same power, different agenda.
Yes.
I'm not saying they're going to be a carbon copy of Victor or his brother, I suppose. I'm saying we have no guarantee they won't be just as bad. And if they are, we are in the exact same situation we're in now, but without the convenient phylactery to deal with them.
So from what I understand, it's just they'd be a mere mortal with lots of power. Then again, in a way that also makes you somewhat immortal.
As characters, I don't think we actually know about the whole mantling thing.
I thought it was just described.
Unless that was in the book.
I mean,
We've known that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
we've
ahead.
known that power can be inherited. If
Yeah,
that's
you
what
do
you
know
mean.
that.
But we don't know if like mantling it is like a slow process or a immediate process. I don't think in character we know that.
Cam is assuming it's immediate. I can tell you that much at least.
I mean, I highly doubt if having that much power slammed into somebody would be an immediate, oh, I can now do all these things, but because we did hear like the tales of Victor as he was becoming more powerful, right? Back in the day, we heard those tales.
How did he get his power?
It was
From what
Because
I
as I
understand, he
recall, we
broke
had
his
conflicting.
so the the baseline story of like Victor gaining more and more power is probably something that was taught in the church because he was obviously the first pope. And he also told us that he was stuck in a state of being a demigod, not
Yep.
fully having transcended. But we also have been informed that he was given the power by his father.
Who was also mortal, but wasn't.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, if the power was immediate, you would be adhered to the power. You would really not have a sense of own will except for the power. Unless you really prescribe to that already.
Quite frank, an immediate transfer of power is honestly likely the best case for the original person surviving.
I mean, it's not like you'd know how to use it to begin with, so I'd say it would take time.
How do gods exercise their power? My understanding is it's just by a flexing of will.
I mean, have we seen a god as they receive their power? We have. The context here is, not exactly something we know perfectly. But I guess if you were to master something, you could flex it at will.
So this comes down to whether you want to roll the dice for a very potential very good solution with the potential of a very bad one, or take the average.
Charles, did you get food already?
Yeah.
I mean, we could ask the gods for info on what happens if you were to absorb the power of a god as
What's
immortal.
their track record on helpfulness?
I mean, there's still a
One-
chance. We have one who,
Apparently, is in
what
the
it
room.
sound like, he could contact his god. And looks at Darius.
I mean, he has spoken to me a few times.
Meanwhile, Scamos is like,
Put it in the conversation.
mm-hmm.
Scamos is like half listening to your guys' conversation, half intently reading through this ritual for any more information that he can find. And idly, still mostly agreeing with Cam.
It should also be worth saying that if should we shatter the powers, not all of the gods will spring up from that will be those antagonistic towards us. Purely by
There
law
is-
of numbers, some are going to be helpful.
There is that, but it's basically like releasing a load of babies.
Yes, and then all you have to fight is babies. Can't be
Good.
hard.
I'm just hoping we don't have to fight all the babies, otherwise we're still gonna have to fight what is basically Victor. Maybe
Which would you
somewhat
prefer?
confused.
Fight the 200-pound, 200-foot tall, well, 200-pound baby, or 200 1-pound babies.
Let's see, getting stomped on instantly or being slowly torn away.
Advancing at the speed of crawl.
Also, I don't think they're gonna end up being babies, Cam.
As do I, to be honest. But humoring the situation, the not situation, the suggested
It was
hypothetical.
it was yes, it was a metaphor, not an actual.
But the way I see it is, it goes from one able to just smite us on the spot to 8 just smiting us over time, and us still not having quite the edge. That is to say, if some.
Oh shit! Hang on.
That was a decent one.
Oh shit!
What happened?
Earthquake?
Earthquake.
Well then,
I love how Wall was like, "Oh fuck," and Dylan's like, "Oh, nice."
that was. I can still feel it shaking.
Still taking over on your side.
Yeah. That's the reason I paused. Fuck's sake. Okay, that slightly distracted me, but, what was I on about? But yeah, let's just, if we do go with your plan, let's hope whatever splits up from Victor, not all are gonna be hostile towards us, and maybe some, maybe even more than helpful and prevent the other gods from attacking. Really interesting situation. So I still think maybe Athena maybe will give some insight on this, or given she is, I believe, one of the older gods. Am I not correct? Am I correct? Looking at Darius.
What was the last part of that sentence?
I would assume that Athena would be able to maybe give us some insight on this, given she's an old. Actually, I don't know if, given she is a god herself.
I mean, yes.
I don't think gods would know that she's an older god, given God's understanding of gods and knowledge of gods is their gods. Time for Earthquake 2, Electric Boogaloo.
It's still going.
No, I'm just expecting an aftershock in a minute.
A couple of minutes, probably, yeah.
Gonna try and summon Athena.
I mean, might be a good idea.
I mean, it's up to you, Darius. It's wouldn't hurt to ask, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, let's try to summon Athena.
How are you
Perhaps we
going
should
to
just
summon
try
Athena?
to talk to her.
How are you going
Nah,
to
That-
summon
that-
her?
that-
full tilt yeet her into this realm.
Yeah. Oh, fuck,
Where's
my
that
game
orb?
dropped.
No. I don't think that connects to Athena. No.
Give me a second, I'm half deafened.
Go, Athena, I choose you.
God, I am not used to earthquakes.
Okay, that's better.
Happen all the time, Star. We get three.
Well,
of
not
them
in
this morning.
Gerard.
We get 3 of them this morning.
Yeah, one of those woke me up.
Mm-hmm.
How did it
Which
wake
one?
you guys up? What the fuck?
Which one?
Like
Which
it,
one?
like it shook my room up, and I was like just feeling it like reverberate like over and over. It was like a weird
That
feeling.
was a.
And then I was like, holy shit. And then it like another one came. I was like, holy shit.
So it was the second one that woke you up.
No. The first one got me, and then the second one was like came like I'd say a minute, 2 minutes after. I can't remember. I was like half asleep. I'm not fully awake. Either way.
Hmm?
Athena? Eat into reality? Grab her phylactery, kill her, absorb her soul. I mean, what?
Jesus Christ.
What?
He's already planning on murdering my fucking god. What the fuck?
Mhm. Damn, son.
But yeah,
You gotta be professional, like a sniper. Have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
professionals have standards. We're not professionals, Star.
Far from it. Says the guy who probably still has like a sniper rifle sticking out of his bag of holding.
It's just the barrel, just sticking out casually.
So what are you going to say, Brexit?
Like,
Tina, hello? Like,
like,
Tina, Kanye.
it uh, when I can actually get my fucking words out without fucking dying myself because I'm, yeah. Athena, we could use some input from a god on this one, realistically.
That's
we
fair.
have, we really have no idea what the outcome of.
you guys all blink once, and now there is two other beings in this room.
What the fuck?
Tina is one of them.
Okay.
Who's the other?
Gamos, yours is here too.
Well, we've all seen him. Some of us
Mm.
have seen him as well, so we'd recognize those that
Mhm.
have.
Oh, hi.
Well, getting two for the price of one.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That's all he says is yes, two for the price of one. Said you needed some input.
Yes. In regards to, dealing
As
with,
per our last email.
as per our last email. um, yes, we're dealing with Victor and the God of Chaos, like outright killing them and what to do with the power afterwards.
Okay.
Like, what is a better solution? Allow it to fracture and dissipate, or have somebody absorb it?
I mean, one of you that kind of power.
What?
One of you seeks that type of power, want to attain that power. This is Scamos's, by the way. This is
He's saying one of us seeks that type of power.
no. Does one of you that type of power?
I'm assuming that all of us can hear this.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're all talking to all of you.
I mean, if the outcome is worse, just to leave it dissipate and correct whatever.
There are several things I would like to do with that power if I had it,
Okay.
but I sincerely doubt that I could convince all here to trust me with it.
Depends on which type of power.
And aside from that, even, there's also the question of would I even still be me afterwards?
So, and this is Athena talking. I have been witness to many gods in the past that have come and gone, and have one usually have two outcomes. They're destroyed because either someone takes their power, or they're destroyed to try and weaken them so multiples can take the power. When you split people out like that, when you split the gods themselves want more power, right? Like, a lot of them seek power for themselves. So,
Messes with the power balance up there when you're fighting over the
Yes.
scraps.
yes.
Right.
And thus, this is how you get the hierarchy of gods. The ones that are on the council at the top, Odin, things, that class, those levels, they've done a lot of killing in their time. Other gods. So if you break them out, will cause a complete power balance and shift in the entirety of the Immortal Realm period.
And probably a war over the power, so
Yeah. Now, Illyria itself should be mostly spared from this. It depends on how much of the old ways are still practiced by those that live here.
so we might see a boost in power of other religions and them probably starting
Exactly.
wars here.
Exactly. But you also are changing your power balance of your land too, your nations too. You may see the total destruction and reduction of what is the church now that you followed Darius. And he looks, Athena looks to both you, Scamos, and to Cam. And maybe the increase in power of, I don't know, Ashir, or maybe the elves, or Osterich, to a point. I'm not saying religion is the be all and end all of that power, but opportunities may be taken by parties if they are aware of certain power voids and things of that nature. So these do have ramifications outside of just the gods. So you must consider that when making this decision. You may plunge this whole land into a war. But if one of you or one or both of you take or you split the power at a smaller level, not one person but two or three, theoretically might be able to save this. But and that is a question you do ask one of you did ask that. I think it was you, Cam, right? You did ask that do you retain?
Mm-hmm.
Do you retain yourself? Well, most of the time, yes. But with every change and increase of power, things may be amplified. Ideas or concepts that vary may come to light, or your mindset may change over time as well because, hey, I have power. So it's a very fine line. Power does corrupt eventually. That's why a lot of the gods we've tried to keep things in check for a long time, because we know that power can corrupt. Well, so there is a chance that it can corrupt, but it depends on your heart and in your beliefs. And here's the other question that I ask you as as those that are mortal. Want to live forever. Because you will, if you do take this path, if you do absorb the power. That's a question you have to ask yourself is, can you live with yourself forever?
Forgive the
Or the consequences of your
appearance
actions?
of conceit for a moment, but there wouldn't be much change for me in comparison.
Oh, but Cam, yes it would. Your kind does die eventually, yes.
Compared to everything else on this plane, no. But technically, yes.
And she looks at you, curious, and says, is this something that you desire?
I mean, do I personally desire the power? No. But if taking said power was more fighting from kicking off, it is a sacrifice that I would be willing to make just to keep the balance.
Amos? He's calling you out, son.
Who is?
Athena.
Athena is?
Mm-hmm.
Why is cleaning up your guys' mess our responsibility?
Well, if you do decide to take this power, it becomes your responsibility to survive as well.
Why is it
Because
our
we don't want to
job?
die.
Why is it our job to clean up the mess you all made? Funny thing about that book, and I'm going to point to the the tome that I've been reading out of, it kind of explains the history of everything that's led up to this.
Yes.
So why is it our job to clean up your mess?
Because we won long ago. We got to set the terms as the gods.
And you set terms so poor that you wouldn't be able to enforce or stop anything if he came back.
Oh, this goes beyond Victor. This was the after, Victor was just the aftermath of the last war. See, we fought mortals, and the mortals almost destroyed us, but then they ran out of options. They didn't realize that what they made caused them issues as well.
Certainly seemed to cause you guys enough issues as well, didn't it?
I mean,
Be a shame if that technology made a resurgence.
habits.
So I ask again, why is it our job to clean up
Because that was
your
the deal.
mess?
That was the deal.
The deal you made, what, with all those people you were fighting against God knows how long ago?
That is correct.
It suddenly became mortals' problems to clean up after gods when the gods are the ones causing the problems.
At the time, we
That
didn't believe
seems a
Victor would be
recipe
an
for
issue.
failure.
Because Victor has certainly attained godhood at this point.
He was always destined to be one. Problem is, him and his brother started a war.
Oh, gee, you mean Cap Daddy Issues and Captain Daddy Issues 2 sibling boogaloo? Yeah, who would have ever thought two people that hated each other's guts because of their father would start fighting each other when they had enough power to do so? Put your hand up if you think that was a surprise. I'm going to address everyone that's there.
Everybody that's in the room.
Yeah, put your hand up if you think that's a fucking surprise.
Does Darius put his hand up?
I was. What did you say? Sorry.
I was saying that they were like, we didn't expect them to get that powerful and then start fighting one another. And my response to that was, oh gee, two people who hate each other's guts because of their father get enough power to literally start a war and then start fighting each other. Who thinks that's a surprise?
Is it raise your hand if you're surprised?
Yes, raise your hand if you think
Mhm.
if you think that's a surprise is what I asked.
Yeah, no.
Neither one of the gods raised their hand, by the way. Like, they know.
They knew
Yeah,
it was
no,
gonna happen.
that was not intended to be an actual vote for them to say that. They were caught off guard by it, and I am being a sarcastic
I know.
asshole in response to her trying to play this, oh, I'm gonna call you out bullshit.
Well, since apparently policing the gods is our job, why stop at these two?
Oh, shit.
Woo, Cam's spitting fire! I mean, Tiamat is next on the list. And if we're gonna have to rein in those,
The two gods look actually quite uncomfortable in this conversation.
like the whole
Which is-
conversation, or as soon as Cam goes, we
As
should
soon as
police all the
Cam says
gods.
that, yeah.
Oh. So the arrangement that was made does allow mortals to police everything you do.
I mean, that's part of what gives us power, too. I mean, we can take power from other gods, but how do you think the whole link between the followers and us work?
They worship you, so they give you power.
Yeah.
So, no, that's a simple solution then.
The mortals that fought us previously, best way to describe this, they wanted purpose. They felt like they had none. So we gave them purpose. Gave them something to believe in and something to teach. They weren't a very moral people.
By whose standard?
Well, most of your modern standards. I mean, they used weapons that obliterated entire mountaintops. Their morals were pretty
Well,
low.
whatever shall we do? The dirt got scattered into other dirt.
I'm just gonna keep quietly looking at the whole, oh yeah, we have gods who's literally got the capacity to rewrite everyone and everything into what their version of good is. But yeah, no, we're the ones that are going too far.
So much hypocrisy, right, Hallsworth?
Dude, I just have this unbridled need to call it out wherever the fuck I see it.
To be fair, that is kind of his domain.
I know. I think your food's here, by the way.
I already got my food.
Probably mine then. Anyway, but yeah, no. He looks at you, Scamos, and he looks back at your god.
Like, I see
Surprised
why
that you
like
still
him.
let him. He still follows you, asking all these questions.
I was under the impression that that was why he followed him.
You know what? When Athena says that and looks at him, I'm gonna look her dead in the face and go, because he was the one that came to help me when I finally called out for help from anyone.
I
So
see.
excuse me if my loyalty is based in something actually practical.
And belief in worship for others is not.
Let's take a look at
Oh
Vic,
yes, the
shall
power
we?
of thoughts and prayers.
Everyone else sits. All the other gods sat and ignored me with the, like he says, thoughts and prayers thing when I was sitting there needing help while people were trying to kill me. He came and actually helped.
Because he's the only one that could have at the time.
Well, then he's the
Probably.
only one worth following now, isn't
That
he?
is an inaccurate statement.
If he's the only one who can actually intervene, he's the only one worth following because he's the only real god then.
So what, you gonna prop him up on a pedestal and have him take over everybody?
How uncomfortable does the traveler look when she says
Yeah,
that?
he's like, oh.
I'm gonna point at him and go, see, this is how I know he doesn't want that.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't.
He looks at her and he's like, you know I just lost a bet and I got here, right? That's literally how the Traveler became the Traveler. He lost
I
a bet.
lost a bet and I got here.
Yeah. It's a pretty good backstory for him, not gonna lie.
I lost a bet.
Lost a bet and I gained
Accidentally
immortality.
your way into godhood.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
And what do you mean he was the only one that can intervene? I'm standing here, aren't I? And
Are you
there's
a
at least
god?
3 other gods.
Are you a god, Cam? I don't believe so.
Whatever happened to being enlightened and knowing what goes on in the world?
You? Or the sheer?
The world. No, I'm not a god. I'm referring to the fact that at one point I was dead.
Ah. So you think by death that you are now enlightened, that you would be able to intervene on somebody else's behalf? That's half a world away from you?
I'm sorry. Can we get a bucket of water here? I want to see if these people float or if they sink, because they can't be this dense.
Think like a
Athena
rock
is.
can.
Athena is.
The traveler's just sitting there fucking enjoying this show at this point.
Yeah. He's uncomfortable as hell because he kind of was forced to come here with her, but
Wait, hold up. The goddess of intellect is
Yeah.
dense. Is that what you're saying?
yes.
You know, on she's smart, but she has absolutely no perception.
Yeah.
Takes everything you say at the exact literal value
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
There were 3 gods that brought me back. I cannot tell you which one actually did the deed, though I have my suspicions, but they are the reason I'm still here to stand before you.
Okay.
So no, he, pointing at the trickster, traveler rather, not trickster,
Mhm.
is not the only one who can intervene.
The gods make a choice. He's the one that made the choice. They just did not.
So they
Or they
could
didn't
intervene. They
hear.
just didn't want to then.
Or they couldn't hear.
What use is a god if he doesn't hear prayers?
Well, let me ask you this. If you heard a prayer from every person in the world at the same time, do you think that you would be able to handle that mentally?
That's why you're gods, ain't it?
As I recall, that's kind of your bailiwick.
How to explain that? And you see you're kind of thinking. Have like a prioritization center, if you will, a place that certain people that fit certain
Right, got it.
beliefs.
Questions about whether that you should apply gold trim to the baseboards or the runners in the church, those get top priority, but the man about to die, the man who just died, no, that can just wait.
Well, here's the thing. Depends on where that person is aligned, what they believe in. And we also usually don't mess with fate, because if you mess with fates, and she looks right at right at the traveler as he says as she's saying this, he comes to find us. Or sends one of her agents, if as it were.
You don't mess with fate.
No.
So if you aren't willing to interfere in the world at all, then why are you here?
When someone is dying, they should die. When you start messing with that, she usually does not approve.
She?
She.
Believe she's talking about the Raven Queen.
Yeah. She is theoretically the most powerful of all of us. And we have to respect her as well. What she
Really
wants.
wish you get your fucking great.
Because she has the power to wipe anybody in this room out in about 2 seconds. If you really wanted to.
And why doesn't she?
Because she doesn't seek power. She wants life to live, and wants fate to be what people decide. Not what people decide. She wants fate. She wants people to live through their life, and fate for her is what you're destined to have. So if you're destined to die, which if you're in the process of dying, you're probably going to die. So if you intervene, that's messing with someone's fate. That's not a good thing. If someone converts, for example, we have to get her approval. And looks like at you, Darius, by the way, when she says that.
You need the Raven's Queen's approval
Yes.
to accept a follower that converts.
If they're powerful enough, yes.
For each individual follower.
Gives a choice, yes. Has the choice to approve that or override it. And if they have immense power, someone like you, Darius, or anybody in this room, if you decided to convert, you would have to get her approval.
And what if they wanted to convert and she says no?
then we have to either reject them or they die.
I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding or miscommunication here for a moment. Any random person suddenly decides they want to
No,
worship a
random
different god,
people
they'll
can.
just die if the god rejects them.
No. So random people can to a point. Like, so if you're just like Joe Schmo, it's like, I want to go follow X, but now I want to follow Y. That's perfectly fine. But say like someone like Darius or somebody that has been following a certain god for a long time and has a lot of power, or has been given, like Scamos, for example, or like any of you guys or anybody else that's been given either gifts from their god or blessings, things like that, like the big stuff, they would have to go through the Raven Queen. Because then again, it's also messing with the balance of things, fate, all that shit. So like when Darius converted, that's kind of a big deal. So
But how would him converting, if he was denied, how would, when he just loses
the Raven
powers,
Queen would have sent somebody to kill him, yes. Take him off
He-
the board.
and instead of his
I don't
powers
recall
just
this
fading?
being in the informational packet.
Yeah, I've been going through and I don't see that anywhere.
What informational packet? The Raven
Well-
Queen informational packet, or
No.
the?
Cam is being sarcastic here.
I know, but I'm asking from Gothic's perspective. Are you trying to just be sarcastic with Cam?
Yes.
Okay. Let's just say usually there's trades involved, as it were. Yes, we deal with people's souls and we trade them like currency.
Oh, but we're the morally inept ones.
Currency is not the word I would have used, but
No, that's what they just use. They view our
Yep.
souls as money, ladies and gentlemen.
they do.
This is why.
I'd have said trading cards.
I can just imagine
That
the
yes, because
$100.
that makes it or Cam.
I can just
Very
imagine the
better.
$100
Currency
bill.
is a better descriptor, honestly.
The $100 bill, toilet paper.
And Darius is, and I think Brexit's passed out, where he's just not talking.
So
Exit. Okay.
Cameras.
Hi, Brexit.
if the Raven Queen is so goddamn powerful that she can
The
just
Raven
delete-
Queen is literally the whole. She is the trust busting. Basically, she's the government. It's basically what it is.
Right, so she's so damn powerful that she can
Yes.
delete anyone in this room.
And Victor. Technically, yes. She can delete
Why
Victor.
the fuck has she not?
Again, she is literally the antitrust busting government. She's the government. There's a reason she hasn't.
Even,
Because
feel
they're
like-
useless and incompetent?
I feel
even
like
though
Victor
he's
may have
forcibly
broken some
converting
laws in that.
people.
Maybe she's thinking you all can take care of this. Who knows?
Ivan.
Bitch, I want fucking seat to this table if I end up becoming a god because of this shit.
You want to play? Okay.
Fucking,
Well, let's call her down and ask her.
fucking.
Arrear is finally back, by the way.
No, that was out of character.
So
But
Scamos,
Yes.
who did you worship before him?
Scamos is gonna look at him. Look at him. Oh wait, I'm wearing my cloak, aren't I?
Yes.
I'm gonna look at Cam, take my cloak off, look at myself, look at Cam, look at myself, look up at Cam with that very clear like, really? Are you really asking this question?
Yes.
Was it Slanesh?
Slanesh is a
No.
subset of the chaos beliefs. Scams is gonna kind of just do this eye roll. An entertaining subset, but a subset. So to answer your question, maybe a little bit.
Start hearing the dirge of Slanesh in the background.
This quiet. Sorry. I'm not even gonna fucking.
But yeah, Scamos' response to you is kind of the like, hello, Tiefling here, take your bet.
And Cam doesn't say this, but very much, and many would assume the same of me. So
The assumptions, or the stereotypical assumptions, I should say, of my race for worshipping the, gods of chaos would be an accurate statement.
I
Considering
see.
most of us are raised in, by literal insert demons or succubi or, depending on
Stockholm syndrome, shit like that.
not even Stockholm syndrome. I literally grew up in a demonic village in the middle of nowhere. There's no other belief systems.
Oh, are you a country bumpkin?
Kind of. More like the Ruskovian wastes. But,
But no, I do not assume.
Well,
But
you
what I
are
should hope for obvious reasons.
Well, you're one of the few people that doesn't, but before I worshipped him, my belief systems were in line with the gods of chaos.
Right, so I
Travel
suppose
is
there's not really much to gain in asking why they didn't answer your prayers in this situation.
I'll say that. And are you gonna ask or no? Cam, or do
No,
you?
in character, I just said that.
Okay. And she looks at you, Cam, and she's like, he would have asked too much of me for me to intervene. Traveler, on the other hand, here,
Doesn't give a fuck.
that, and he's also not a threat to him. I mean, the Traveler is a minor god in the whole grand scheme of things. And he kind of Traveler kind of nods. He's like, and I kind of like it that way, so just leave it alone.
Oh, while you two are here, through this whole thing, there's just always been this thing bothering me, and it's from somewhat not the wisest decisions. He looks towards Scamos, but I've never fully understood or was given a direct answer of what
Where babies
this
come
meant.
from.
But Gazlik pulls his sleeve, revealing the chaos mark on his wrist. Do you understand what this fully means for me down later in life?
I mean, Amos didn't tell you what it means. He should know.
The fuck are you talking about?
They've marked him.
Yeah, I have no idea what that fucking means.
Oh.
Okay,
Means that he's being marked for possibly being a vessel for a demon.
Fuck.
Wow, sucks to suck, man. Sorry.
Is there any way to get unmarked?
I mean, had a conversation with Chaos, so no.
I could think of one easy Relatively straightforward solution.
There.
What was that?
What's that?
You were marked by chaos. Let's go kill chaos.
Then who would have my mark then?
Nobody. I would assume.
So at any time, I'm just a ticking time bomb to be vesselized.
I mean, if he deems it for you, then yes, but they would talk to you first.
They would talk to me. I figured becoming or being marked for a vessel would be a little bit more forced.
It depends on which demon it is. Some of them, as Scamos can probably tell you, are a little bit kinder than others.
Are you talking demons or devils?
Either or, just put it that way.
And would my character know the difference when I think about it?
So it's
I
a
mean,
roll of a dice if I find the right demon who decides to make me a vessel.
I mean, for all you know, if Scamoso says it could be Scamos,
Amos, please don't.
theoretically, Scamos went that route. But
Say what now?
no, we're talking about his mark. I'm just saying, if he ever decided to go that route, he could technically do that.
What,
but
possess gods?
yeah.
Didn't know that, but also thank you.
Please, Amos, no, please don't. You're your friend, but I don't want to be possessed by you.
Hey guys, do you have $20?
Fuck. He tosses him like 20 gold pieces.
But anyway, it's all dependent on which one you get.
Fuck, now that sounds like it should be vesselized by Scamos just so I don't have to deal with an asshole demon.
Oh, you want to be vassalized right now?
Not right now.
$40.
Wait, why 40 bucks?
Because this is called extortion and I need money.
God damn it.
Dude, just give him money. You guys have like how much in platinum? My god.
Gaza gives him 40 gold.
You give him 4 platinum pieces.
Well, he's saying bucks, so I just like assume like bucks here would be like gold.
All right, here's your loot box. Open it up, see if
Anyway.
you get vassalized.
That was the first moment where I
Overeer
thought,
does
oh,
enter
maybe
the
this will
room
have
if
an
you have
impact.
not, so Overeer is here as well. Many, if you want to say something, the gods are in the room.
No, shut up.
Rhea walks in, sees gods. Oh fuck.
I guess another question I had is, what if we decide to end up sharing the power of Victor? Because I know the Dwarven race is not doing too well, and not thinking about having that power might help. Just a thought. Would it interrupt me getting the power? As in a hypothetical, I guess.
If you ascended, yes. I mean, theoretically, a demon cannot possess a god. That's not how it works.
Would the Chaos God be able to, any of the Chaos Gods be able to do something with me then, though?
Probably not.
You open divinity.
Got it. So the only way to be not vassalized is retain divinity. Great.
Or ask very nicely, not be a vassal anymore.
And I had to like ask that to like the head representative of the Chaos Gods.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing him, he's probably going to ask a big favor of me if for that, or just say no. bit of unforeseen consequences there.
There will be unforeseen consequences. Sorry.
Okay, G-Man.
What do you expect me to reference, motherfucker?
What do you think I was referencing?
Anyway, do you have any other questions? Or can we go now?
How's your day been?
God fucking damn it, Scott.
Yeah.
And this is to both of them. He looks like between the two.
How are you doing?
You just see Athena shaking her head, looks at the travelers like, we better go. And he's like, of course. And then they
Run
leave.
as far as you can.
Run as fast as you can. You can outrun me. I'm the how you doing, man.
Oh god.
Fucking gothic.
I saw opportunity, I had to take it.
You only get one shot. One opportunity.
Professionals have standards.
He's the dwarven Eminem, really, Brexit?
Oh, god.
Gozzik's theme song is anything from 8 Mile, Brexit. Anyway, is there any more conversation to be had?
We have spent the past 3 hours reading a book and talking to gods.
Yeah. And also getting everybody back on the same page and back on track. It's a good session. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So basically,
It turns out a lot can happen when you just read a book.
So we now know that, yeah, letting that power go, not a good idea.
It's great. We're doing it.
I mean,
Now the real question is do we want to have one person, or do we want to split that? And
Might as well only put one person in the insane asylum.
the whole party.
If-
Oh, God.
I
If the
don't
Raven
think
Queen vamps down at any change in the power balance, why would there be a war?
Well, it'll be more of gods just picking up power that's now just freely there. So I highly doubt she'd give a shit about that. And
Why wouldn't she?
as long as we'll die
A change in the
naturally.
god's power.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's only so much power, and that's her thing. Is there's only X amount, like there's only so much power to give in terms of godhood, magic, all that crap, right?
Yeah.
So the war would be over it. Basically, and from time to time too, she would probably allow wars to happen because it's just like an economy, and balancing that, craziness and shit happens a lot,
It's the god solution to overpopulation.
basically.
Hmm.
They don't want too many gods. That's the big thing.
Yes.
So the ones that get really powerful are the older ones, and it's a whole caste system and all that shit. So
But on that note, what would stop a war from happening if we just consolidated the power into one?
what would stop the war from happening? That one person would be more powerful. It'd be at the power of Victor, and
But they'd still be vulnerable.
to a point.
I mean, apparently the Raven Queen can snap fucking Victor like a twig. So
If she really wanted to. Now, if she really wanted to, she could. Now, there is a chance that Victor could get more powerful than she can. Or she is. And
Proof
that's...
belief.
Yes. And... So...
let's see. 50 megaton bombs hitting each other is probably not going to be great for the entirety
Yeah,
of
and that's the
existence.
other thing too is
Mm-hmm.
the Raven Queen and him going at it might be leveling of a continent or something, or half a continent.
It
I.e.,
just
what
makes
happened
me
last time?
just makes me think of like that fucking Tales of the Past. Like, if if you were to if you were to destroy the book by any natural means, it would cause destruction on on such a catastrophic scale that you wouldn't be able to imagine it. Meaning you might as well just let the two fight, because they're trying to stop a fight between like fucking
Yeah.
Arthas and fucking Kil'jaeden.
So, I think because it's what 8 o'clock for you, Minnie.
Yep, 8 o'clock.
Do you need to go?
Yeah, about time.
Yeah.
All right.
We've
We
also
will
been
put
up
a
for 2.5
pause.
hours.
Yeah, put a pause in that. We got everybody on a good page. I think we all. You want to bring down that to your